On this video, I'll be showing you how to use the RPCS3 Emulator for your Legion Go. And this is PS3 Emulator that will run pretty well. At least 70% of games will work on your Legion Go with minor tweaks. This is a full-fledged emulator with ongoing support, and it's such a great experience to be able to play PS3 games on the Legion Go. Especially a lot of these PS3 games are locked to the PS3 console and they haven't been re-released or remastered, and this is a great way to play a lot of older titles which actually still hold up pretty well. I'm pretty sure this has online support as well, and it's just such a great library on the PS3. I'm just glad this works so well on the Legion Go, and you can play a lot of the games on like 30 FPS or even 60 FPS. I know the Steam Deck can't handle a lot of the PS3 games, especially using this emulator. So this is one of the great ways of playing portable PS3 games. So keep watching. If you have a Legion Go and you want to get this set up, I will give you a step-by-step guide on how to do this. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to download the PS3 emulator, and you can search this website here, the RPCS3.net, and it will take you to the home page. Go on to download. Because we're using the Legion Go, we need the Windows version. So Windows x64 is what you want to click on. Once downloaded, just open the folder, and we want to extract this entire folder here. So just go back into downloads. It's currently zipped or compressed, so we need to right click and extract all. Just go ahead and extract all the files. It's going to open again. I'm just going to make a folder under documents. So I'm just going to put it into a emulators folder, just so I can relocate it quite easily. Double click this and you should find the application file, the .exe. I'm just going to double click this and this should load. You probably get this error here because of the Microsoft Defender preventing you from opening this unrecognized app. We're just going to click on more info and run anyway. Just click on that. Now it's going to load all the files that you need for this to be updated, etc. You can read all of this if you want to. We do need to head to the PlayStation, the official PlayStation website, to get the PS3 firmware. So you can refer to the quick guide for this. I'm just going to click on Create Desktop and Start Menu. I'm going to use the dark theme as well. Click on I have read the quick start guide, and then click on Continue. We can actually load this up. Quick start guide on the actual RPCS3 website, and this is going to give you like all the info of what's compatible. So I'm guessing the Steam Deck is not really recommended to use because there's a minus there. Everything else, a lot of the Macs, I guess that's not very compatible. I mean, I'm not too sure if you can still use it on those devices. Everything else is fine. So this is going to give you kind of like a quick tutorial guide, but I'm just going to go through this with you anyway. So click Continue, and this will now load the emulator. Now we don't have any games or anything at the moment. The first thing that we need to do is we need to download our PS3 file. So head on to PlayStation.com. This is the official website. This will have the latest PS3 system software. You don't have to download the latest one. You can download like a custom firmware if you want to, but this is just how to get it up and running to play most of your games. So we need to scroll down and find like reinstall PS3 system software. Now we can right click on here, download the PS3 update, save link as, make sure it says the PS3 update. It's just saying 1 there because I've already got it downloaded. So I'm not going to download it again, but click save and this will download the file for you. It's a PUP file. Once you have that, go back onto your PS3 emulator, click on File. From here, go on to Install Firmware. Locate your update file. This is mine. I'm gonna open, and now this will install the PS3 files. Click OK, and then just wait a few minutes for this to initialize, but this is essentially installing the whole operating system for the PS3 onto this emulator here. Alright, so it looks like our firmware has been installed. Now we want to add a couple of games, but before that you can click on pads here, and what we want to do is change the handlers here. Change this, we want to switch the pad to a X input, which is the 360 input or Xbox input, so you can actually change some of the button layout yourself if you want to customize it a bit. Choosing the X input will make it so all the controls will work and you shouldn't have an issue there. What I did find is that because I had assigned some custom controls for my Legion Go on Steam, Steam does conflict with this emulator. So if you have any settings on your Steam in regards to controls, then you might be double pressing stuff. That's what I found when I did try this initially. I had Steam open with custom controls, and it kept messing up with these sets of controls here. So to remedy that, all I did was close down Steam and made sure the PS3 emulator was still open, and that still worked fine. Click save, so make sure you go down and click save. Obviously you have to do this again. We're going to add a game. So the first set of game that I'm going to try something small. This one here, which should be Afterburner Climax, I think. Now this is the PKG and RAP file, so you actually need both of these files because the PKG file is only the disk and it isn't actually the license that you need for it, the license file, in order for this to boot up. So I'm just going to drag this and copy it over. It's going to say, do you want to install this package, and it's going to tell you what game it is. I do recommend putting these games in like a folder because sometimes you don't know what the hell it is. There's a bunch of numbers. So here's the game. It's a hard drive game. This is the game ID. So you might need this to know if this game is compatible, and if you need to update this, like update the game as well. This is the version. We're going to click on yes. Now if you have a game that's like 40 gigs or more, this is going to take a long time to install. This is a very small game. Afterburner Climax is an arcadey small game, so that's fine. I'm just going to leave this as default. I don't actually want this on my desktop, so I'm just going to click OK. Now if you try to play this without installing the RAP file, you're going to come across this error here. Booting failed, digital content could not be decrypted. This is usually caused by a missing or invalid license, a RAP file. So it tells you to go to the quick start guide and check it over. Here's our RAP file. This is what we need, but for some reason dragging it over doesn't actually do anything. Doesn't install it. So I do have to go into File and Install Packages, RAPs or EDATs. Locate your RAP file, and it's this one here because the RAP file will tell you, it will have like the name of the game here. So we want to open this. I think this is installed now. There we go, yeah. So I'll just scroll down here on the command log and it says successfully copied RAP file. So now if you double click the game, it should just install and load. Now, the bigger the game, obviously this takes longer. Just going to let it load for a second.
Afterburner Climax.
Well, that was loud. Okay, so here's our game, it's loaded. I've actually got this on like FPS mode, so the controls are not going to work. We're going to back out of the game. I'm going to show you some gameplay later on in the video. That's just one example of a game loading. Now, going back onto my games list, I do have another game here, Fight Night Champion, and this is not a PKG file or a RAP file. This game it's just all of the files, so I guess is a complete rip of the Blu-ray or game disc. So this will already have a license in place somewhere inside here, I think. Wherever you get your games, just be aware that different methods require different ways of installing the game. What didn't work for me was ISO files for some reason. I couldn't load up an ISO, so maybe there's a way of loading or booting ISOs without having a RAP file, but I'm not too sure how to do that. Anyway, going back onto this Fight Night Champion folder, all I have to do is drag it over, I think. So it's going to tell me the same thing, just click on OK, and if I double click this should just load. So this says this is a disc game, so disc games are a lot easier to install because you don't have to have the RAP file included. Double click, it will again install. This will take a while, and this should just load. So yeah, it depends where you get your games. I can't tell you how you get your games or where. Disc games seem to just load just fine without a RAP file, and then with these you do need the PKG and the RAP file that has to match the game ID. So I'm pretty sure that you do need to have the right region, so you need to make sure you have like a European game with a European RAP file and a US game with a US RAP file, etc. On the logs here you can see that it's loading up all of the files ready, or installing them, and I'm going to come back when this is done. It tells you how long this is going to take, so 6 minutes. So there we go, Fight Night Champion has loaded just fine, so let's exit this. Now if you have any doubts of what game will load, or if you're unsure whether you want to play a game and to see if it's compatible for your Legion Go, I highly recommend checking the compatibility list here on the same RPCS3.net website. This will tell you all the games that are able to be played without any issues whatsoever. They can be completed with playable performance. That's all highlighted in green. So almost 70% that's you're able to complete smoothly, and then sort of like orange is games that can't be finished and have serious glitches. So let's see, for instance, Demon Souls. Let's check out Demon Souls. Let's go down. Here's all the game ID. Now it's important that like you check the right one. So Demon Souls, I'm pretty sure I haven't installed it yet, but I have the American version, I think. So Demon Souls is playable. I did encounter a glitch where I couldn't see the level. It was all pitch black. So if you click on the game, it's going to give you like GPU configuration, CPU configuration. This is going to be running on the Legion Go, so I recommend at least 20 watts. So run this on 20 watts for smooth performance. And what is this? The resolution can be scaled higher. I think this is what going to be 30 frames per second, if I can remember this game being quite low in frames. That's like one example of searching the game and making sure you have the right settings. So to change your GPU configuration, go back onto the emulator, click on the game, right click, and I'm going to right click the game and then click on create custom configuration from global settings. Here we can change a bunch of the settings for this emulator. So certain games will require you to change like the resolution or the frames per second. At the moment everything's on default, but if you do find that your game is sluggish and you're encountering a lot of bugs and glitches and stuff, then I do recommend you change in some of these GPU settings and apply it to whatever it tells you on the compatibility website. So always refer to this if you're running into any problems with your ROMs and PS3 games before like commenting and stuff, because this is very handy. Plus most of these games are now, you know, it's almost 100%. It's going to take a while though. This is still always updating, and they're always working on this emulator to make sure that all the games are running perfectly. The team behind this have really worked hard to make sure that all of these games run smoothly. But anyway, yeah, change any of these settings if you need to. I'm just going to click on default because this is just Afterburner and it doesn't require much resources. So click on apply. And now the last thing that we want to do is we want to check out game patches. So here it's actually saying there's an update, I think. Update available. So if I right click and go on to manage game patches, I can update this game through this menu here. There's a version 1.02 and you can actually click on this as well. Just some of these unlock settings that we can do. We can unlock the FPS, restore some debug print. I'm not too sure what that does, but I'm just gonna untick these. Click apply and hit save. So it should update the game, hopefully. I forgot that I can right click the game and go on to check game compatibility, so I think this is updating. Download latest patches. If there's anything wrong with your updates, you can actually go on to manage game patches, and this will come up with all of the game patches available on the servers. So if you didn't want the latest update and wanted to roll back for whatever reason, because sometimes it's funny to go back on old glitches that they've patched before, you can do that. But yeah, this is just manually like choosing what game patches there are, but this entire database is what updates there are. Right, so I'm just going to install one more game and then I'll do a little games test as well. But let's do Demon Souls. Again, I've got a PKG file and I'm just going to drag it over. It's not letting me drag it. I can click add game. I think it's just crashed, so I think I just need to reboot this. Right, if this keeps coming up, you can actually uncheck this, show at startup, so this will just bypass this welcome screen. Right, so let's try that again. Let's install Demon Souls, drag it over. Here's the game ID and stuff. Click OK. This is about 8 gigs, 8.3 gigs. Let it do its thing. After that I'm going to install the wrap file. And there we go, there's our Demon Souls installed. Let's go ahead and install the wrap file. And there we go, that's pretty much it. That's how you install the PS3 emulator onto Legion Go. Again, I recommend using 20 watts for like a higher demanding game, but you can run some games at 15 watts. Just switch it up if you're finding it too laggy, then just up the wattage of your Legion Go. I'm gonna spend some time just to install a bunch of games and give it a little test. Now, if you're still having issues with your games loading up and there's just a blank screen and you can hear the sounds of the games but nothing is showing up, I would recommend going on to the configuration options, go on to GPU, and on the right side here where it says additional settings, make sure right color buffers is highlighted. To confirm the changes, click Apply and Save. And now your game should load up fine, because I've had a few games where they worked before and then when I've updated this they stopped working. I was just getting a blank screen, especially with Demon Souls. Didn't know what was going on, but it's because of my GPU settings with the right color buffers were not enabled.
Hey, Sarge, you think this roar thing's really there? That's what they say.
Brave soul who fears not death.
Right, just a little update here. I have been messing around with the emulator a bit more now, and I've come to the conclusion that disk-based games, or disk rips, seem to run a lot better than the PKG files, especially on the Legion Go, that is. So if you are having issues with any of your games that are loading, but there is a black screen or there's no graphics displayed, then go ahead and try a disk-based game, because I wasn't having any luck with the PKG file for Uncharted 2, but I think the disk version seems to be running fine. Yeah, that is one thing to try out. And sometimes there are games that you can't find rips for, but you can actually rip your own ISOs, but you do have to use a converter, I believe. So if you do download an ISO, you also need to convert it or rip it, so you have the all the files needed. Because with this is a lot easier, because you can just drag and drop your games onto the emulator. Another good thing is you don't need the RAP file in order for it to work. That is one thing to consider. I find that the PKG files, especially if it's a game like a really big game with intense graphics, they don't seem to work as well as smaller games that don't require too much power from the PS3 emulator. So I'm just going to do a little test through some of these extra games that I've added, and I also need to just show the frame rate and everything, the stats of this as well. So yeah, just a little update. I still need to add more games on this emulator, but I'm having a blast trying out all these old classics here. This emulator's definitely come a long way since I first tried it.
3, 2, 1, go!
See you at the finish line.
See, me and him, we ain't friends per se. I've just been hanging out, looking for a little action. Between you and me, I've been sorely disappointed. Only action he's been getting is his ass kicked. Heavy attacks. Got it. I command goons to spawn so we can test our match skill.
they've been locked in this submission hold for a long, long time, but it looks like he's on the verge of escaping. Well, he's able to free his neck here and avoid the guillotine choke. All right, we're going to be treated to some Strikeforce action. That means that unlike the unified rules of mixed martial arts, there are no elbow strikes to the head of a grounded opponent. Trig has the tie clinch. This could be the lead. Trips him up and drops him down. He wraps his legs around his opponent's body in what is known as the closed guard. He passes the guard and moves into side control. He's working from the closed guard. He's trying to neutralize his opponent. And really what he's trying to do here is control his posture.
Oh yeah, that's a picture-perfect sweep right there.
Oh, there's the block, and the spin kick doesn't do any damage that time. Trig.
South America, Inland Jungle. Whoever wins this one will have their name engraved in the pantheon of world warriors.
You look like you're in good shape.
Are you ready? Fight!
Whatever.
What will happen now? Fight! You win!
Power of fire! You're out! I won! How about that?
Excellent, Atsuma.
All right! Did you see that, Toya? Pretty impressive, huh?
Certainly. Incapacitating golems with fists alone.
You bet!
Single brain cell alert.
Atsuma seems to be satisfied anyway.
Lunchtime!
Atsuma, a moment concerning your right arm. I think I'll have some interesting...
Oh, okay, thank you.
Speak of the devil. Here comes the public eye now.
Many enemies will try to stop you from collecting fragments. You must defeat them in combat.
Tell me about it. I tried to defeat him in cards once. Didn't go so good.
This one looks easy. Try a light attack. Here comes another. Perhaps something stronger.
Keep the battle tips coming, lady. It's like having Sun Tzu as a life coach.
Impressive. With your incredible strength, you can probably even knock enemies into the air.
Sure can. Want to see?
Who is David Hayter?
I'm...
Accomplished actor, screenwriter, voice of a generation.
Well,
Citizen of the world.
yeah, well, I never...
Ripped from...
Keep on punching.
This food, oh no.
It's an octopus. These guys are...
In this vacation forever.
Well, now...
All right.
The truck, Snake. Try going under it.